Ask away.
We're wanted men.
I have spoken.
It's birthday week. It's birthday week.
Birthday. Birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jason.
How's it going? How's your
Hey.
birthday?
So far so good. I just woke up, so I haven't really.
Any Baileys in that coffee?
No, it's just normal coffee. I'm still trying to recover from last night. We went up to a Mexican restaurant up the road, and they order. I'll take a beer. Well, do you want the 12 ounce or you want the 36 ounce? I'm like, give me the 36 ounce. And after you drink it, you do the math, and that's like 3 beers. And so then Mandy tells him, oh, it's his birthday. So they bring me out the birthday thing, and there's a shot of tequila in it. I'm like, crap.
You had fun last night.
I had fun last night. And then we went over to downtown Woodstock, and there was another, like a brewery, not a brewery, but like a place that sells all kinds of beer. And I've been wanting to check it out. So we went and had another beer there. And they were trying to describe me all the beers that, the couple of beers that I like. And they're like, well, this one's 11%. Man, he's like, you can't have an 11% beer right now. So I got like the 8% beer. And then we came home. And today I think after we're done recording, we're going to shoot over to Rome. There's a toy show out that way. I think it's Canuza or Canoe. I don't know how to pronounce it, but we're going to go there. It's till 6. And I'm like, we can show up to a show at late. I don't care. We'll see what happens. I've never done that before. I'm always there when the doors open. So it'll be a new experience.
Look at you. Look at you changing.
I know.
On your birthday. Now, my birthday was yesterday, and I got a 3D printer.
I saw that.
I was up until 11 last night trying to make it work. I have it working. It's just the settings are not right. So I found a YouTube video to help me get the settings right. So when I print it, it works the way it's supposed to. And I have another print going right now. So hopefully that'll go well.
Yeah. Where'd you set it up at?
It's in the laundry room. It's kind of out of the way. So you can't hear the fans and the motors and stuff like that.
Okay.
That should be good.
I don't know enough about 3D printing. So
we found a Legend of Zelda crest, if you will, for my son as like a desk decoration. And I'm using that as a way to make sure that I dial in the settings before I start into the really good stuff, the Shore Trooper helmet.
Dude, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, me either. Me too. So I've got the file ready to my first print for that helmet, but I'm just trying to get the settings right because there's some weird stringing thing going on, and I think it was printing too fast. So my first print will be like 24 hours when I start the Shore Trooper helmet.
So
it's a mouthful.
Is it a big enough printer to where you can do it all in one go, or you have to piece it together?
Nope. I have to piece it together. Yeah. Like the first print will be the center part of the dome, and then the blast shield, the kind of visor thing, and then like a quarter of the dome. So it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I'd be lucky if I have it done in a month.
You could probably order one for cheaper.
Well, the cool thing is, as it prints, as the slicer sends it, as the slicer prepares the file for printing, it tells you how much it's going to cost.
Oh, that's nice.
Like how much filament you're going to use. So it's like $4 or $5 to print the 2 sections.
Oh, okay. So no, it's not going to cost you more.
No. It's just going to be more elbow grease because once you print it, you got to sand it, and then you got to paint it, and then you got to weather it and all that stuff. So.
All right. Well, you have to do that anyway if you order a 3D printed one. They just kind of send it to you, and you still got to do all the prep work.
Yep. Well, this is part of the fun, figuring this out, learning something new, learning a new skill. It's all good.
Right, and then you can be the 3D printer guy.
3D printer nerd on
yes.
YouTube. Yeah, I watch them all the time.
Or no, you could be the now you're the graphic guy. Now you can be the 3D printer guy
Oh,
of the club.
lovely. Jack of all trades, master of none. That's me. But I had my wife made my grandmother's German chocolate cake, which is like a recipe from the 50s, and it's like a legit cake. Like you can't jump around in the kitchen, otherwise the cake will collapse. If you open up the oven, the cake will collapse. And I had a little bit too much last night, which might have been part of the reason why I had trouble sleeping, is because I had so much junk food.
I saw that cake was awesome.
Yeah, it was office theme.
Yeah.
She's like, how have we gone this long without having an office theme cake for you?
It's because I think you just forget about it because we're just all into Star Wars, and you forget that you're in the Office, and you're into Back to the Future, you're into Bill and Ted, you're into a bunch of other crap.
Yeah.
You know, and because Star Wars just runs so much of our lives.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. It was a good birthday.
Cool. I don't know. My wife keeps saying, I've got an errand to run. And then she goes, well, they're not open yet. And I'm like, oh, I know where you're going. And then she's like, you want to go to Rome? I said, yeah, we'll go to Rome. We'll be fine. So I'm like, I wonder if we're going to Second Chance.
Yeah, I went there yesterday. Because the Braves game, the Braves parade, I wanted nothing to do with being down at Truist Park. And that's where my office is. So I just avoided that whole area. And I stayed home and worked. And at lunchtime, Harrison and I went to Second Chance. He's been looking for the Disney Infinity figures. And I knew that they had boxes in the back. And I went, hey, Chance, can you go looking through the boxes? Like, we got boxes? I'm like, yeah, I saw your dad and I were talking about it. He's like, oh, all right. So we went back and Harrison started picking through things. And he was just, I want this one and this one and this one and this one.
Awesome.
And so I spent more than I intended.
That's what happens.
But half of it's going to be like, half of it's going to be Christmas.
Oh, nice.
but
he knows what he's got.
Yep. And I got some micro machines from Second Chance. So thank you guys.
Sweet.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I've got stuff, but it's supposed to be delivered today. So I found an open Wampa.
The micro machine?
Yeah. I opened up eBay and there was one for like $10. I was like, sold.
That was the real reason I couldn't sleep last night. I'm like, what if Glenn opened those micro machines? It was playing in my head for hours last night.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that. So I guess we'll see what I find, see what Mandy's got up her sleeve. And
speaking of micro machines. Yeah, well, go ahead. Sorry.
No. And then see what I find at the show. But what about your micro machines?
The sign off sample should be here in the next couple days.
Damn, that took forever.
Yeah. Came from overseas.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
No. Well, that explains everything.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was coming from overseas. That's the one thing I hate about a lot of that stuff. You buy it, especially the prototype stuff that's coming from China or it's coming from, yeah. And then it takes twice as long to get something from down the street as it does from China half the time, which amazes me.
Right. That was one thing, even in the future of Back to the Future, the Postal Service wasn't as reliable as the weather.
And they're doing all kinds of crazy crap with it. So it just, I don't know. Yeah, they're changing stuff around. So I don't think anybody's happy at the Postal Service right now. So use UPS or FedEx or something else to ship. That's what I've been doing and pretty happy with it.
Did you pick anything else up this week besides the Open Wampa?
No, I haven't. I haven't been shopping, dude. The only thing I picked up is I got some money for my birthday from my stepmom and my grandmother, and I bought music gear with it because I needed cases. So I had to buy music gear instead of Star Wars.
I can't remember if I mentioned this last week, but I did find the vintage collection at Target.
Nice.
I found the mall. The Darth Maul and the Jawa, which I didn't have. So I picked those up and then I canceled my Hasbro Pulse pre-order because I have them and they're in good condition. I don't need to worry about shipping. And then I did pre-order that Power of the Force 2 Leia Black Series, but I was a little surprised by the sticker shock. That went up to $30.
Really?
Yeah.
And all it has is it's not, is it a deluxe? Is it a deluxe figure or not really? Or
no, it's just one of those Black Series, like Power of the Force 2 ones.
So it's a little bit nicer packaging. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the green, but it's my understanding that it's the Power of the Jedi. It should have been a Power of the Jedi card back, not a Power of the Force, because when the figure came out, it was on a Power of the Jedi card back. So
Uh-huh.
Hasbro's off a little bit.
Oh. Oh, damn you, Hasbro.
And
Dude,
I
all
did
right.
go to
Go ahead.
oh, no, I did go to Target last night. They did have the new archive. They had the Princess Leia and they had Obi-Wan, but I didn't want those. I was looking for the 501st Trooper. So
Yeah. If I
I
could
didn't
figure
get it.
out how to cancel my Hasbro Pulse order, I would have, just because I found them all in Walmart and I didn't pick them up. And I'm still waiting on that thing to show up.
Hmm.
But I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Or
Yeah, no, go ahead.
no. But shoot, now I can't. But I wanted to talk about the Braves parade for a minute, just because of how much of a debacle that was. But
Uh-oh.
well, no, not a debacle. I just thought it was funny because, we work in that area where the Braves is. So I was talking to my boss and I'm like, dude, you're going to have to do something because nobody's going to be open. And then you're not going to want to have trucks and stuff in that area because there's going to be people, there's going to be roads blocked off. And he's, don't worry about it until Friday morning when people didn't show up for work. And he's like, oh, I guess I needed to worry about it. And then I saw all the footage on TV and it looked like downtown, there was nobody there. And they're doing like 40 miles an hour through the parade route. I was like,
Well, it
come on.
depends because they started part of it downtown and then they kind of shut it down to get up to the park, which is about 20 minutes away.
Okay.
So I don't know if they like, was it the section where people were supposed to be on both sides and waving to them, or
I guess, that's a good thought. Maybe they were in the section that they shut down where nobody was supposed to be. And they're just kind of flying through that.
maybe
But I
that
was
would be
just
my impression, my thoughts.
say, yeah, it looked bad for Atlanta and the Braves. You're just, yeah, it wasn't a good look, guys. But then I saw people at Truist Park looked like it was sold out.
Yeah, that's
And I
where the
was
parade ended, was at the stadium.
right. And I was really hoping that Andre 3000 would walk out with Big Boy and like blow that place up, but
Was that a rumor or something?
I was kind of, I don't know. I think I thought about it. I'm like, man, it would be awesome if Outkast played that show, not announce it. And then there's Big Boy. And then here comes Andre 3000. And then Outkast plays it, but it didn't happen. And I heard somebody mention it on the radio, how cool that would be. But yeah.
But they broke up, right?
Huh?
They broke up.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
broke up with quotation marks. But apparently they were hanging out
Hiatus.
together like 2 days ago.
Who knows?
Yeah. Whatever.
Whatevs.
But yeah, I was like, yay. And then I wanted to bitch about the proton pack for a second because I was reading that the blaster you have to buy it separately.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
But it's fully funded though, that HasLab project.
is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Raincore's about halfway, and then so is that G.I. Joe jet thing. But yeah, the proton pack is fully funded.
Mm-hmm. Well, I saw something they were doing the connector. You came with the proton pack, but then you had to buy the blaster, which I thought was kind of cheesy. But maybe they should have included it. But I don't know how much that blaster is going to be. It may be a couple of $100 because it looked pretty insane. It looked pretty detailed.
They should have included it. I don't know why they didn't. That's weird.
They could have just increased the price a couple of $100 to $600 and people still would have bought it, I think.
Yeah, they had speaking of the Raincore, they had a live stream yesterday on my birthday. Thank you, Hasbro, for that. And they did show the first prototype. The back of the Hasbro's kind of like a latex skin to give it more of an organic feel. I mean, it looks great. It looks beautiful with all the articulation. The first tier was released, and it was a repack of the Gamorrean Guard.
Yes.
I was excited because I liked the Power of the Force 2 card back. I thought that looked great with the coin, but it's a repack. Like, we couldn't have gone the distance and made an Ula.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the rationale behind that. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not here to complain.
as much as we like to. I know you guys are probably getting bored of us complaining.
Yeah, there was also earlier this week a Q&A with a couple of the websites that promote, I guess, Hasbro, some of the fan channels. I don't know what you would call them, but they did ask about the cantina, how it was only limited to one per person.
Mm-hmm.
And all Hasbro basically said is, yeah, it was a shipping thing, and we wanted to make sure everyone got one. And so it's something they might try to approach someday, trying to get it available to other people so that you can put together a full bar.
Right. Or maybe just do the bar without the figures. Charge like $50 for it.
You have to read between the lines on some of this stuff. Jake from Forlom to Zuckus asked why Star Wars is excluded from the Hasbro Pulse premium membership pre-orders.
Oh.
So anything that came from that con,
but
that was an exclusive, premium members could order that before, except for anything that was Star Wars. And all Hasbro really had to say was it's policy and that they hear us.
Their
hands have to be tied. Yeah, their hands have to be tied.
They keep selling it. Like, yeah, damn you, Lucasfilm. I don't think it's Disney. It's got to be Lucasfilm because Disney owns Marvel and everything else. So it's got to be Lucasfilm to hold it on to something. Lucasfilm.
And then this was kind of interesting. They asked Hasbro about Figure and Dan, and if he'll be part of a Black Series line or if he's going to be like part of a set, like each instrument. Will you get all 5 instruments with Figure and Dan or what? And so Figure and Dan will be part of the main line and he'll have the one instrument, but they kind of insinuated they're looking at other ways, possibly like a collector set with all 5 and all 5 instruments or something like that.
I don't know. Maybe they'll release the same thing they did with the Stormtroopers that pissed everybody off, where they did the army building Stormtrooper pack and people were bitching about that because it was $45 for 5 Stormtroopers or 4 Stormtroopers.
Well, with shipping, it's about $41. You're paying about $10 a figure.
Well, then,
which is less than the vintage collection,
right? So what is so because it's 15 on 13. A card, 13. Yeah, so you're saving a little bit of money.
Yeah. And again, there's no plastic. All of those figures are wrapped in tissue paper.
Yeah.
So it's a plastic-free package.
Right. And I don't understand why people were griping about that. If you're saving $3 a figure, that's what the point is. That's the point.
Right.
To save you a little bit of money and I guess cut down on plastic. And that's what we were griping about. That's what people wanted. And they give it and people are griping. I really think Star Wars fans are spoiled and we don't know what the hell we want.
Yeah. Last week we briefly spoke about General Lando changing into that smuggler costume looking like Han Solo in Return of the Jedi. Just wanted to follow up. They do call it Lando and smuggling outfit, and it was part of the 30th anniversary collection. So if you're looking for that figure, it's available, and it's the only time they've ever released it like that. So
awesome. So pay attention.
Yeah. I do think it's telling the number of Bad Batch figures that we have in the Black Series line compared to 3.75.
Right.
I mean, Black Series definitely is the priority. They did try to release some Bad Batch figures there was that set on Amazon that sold out like that. But it's none of the main characters.
Right. And I never understood that. Why would they call it a Bad Batch set and then it's all background characters? It's
like a half-assed way to tie it all in. And like there's one clone trooper that was all green, and I just expected him to show up like later in that season, and he never showed up.
Huh.
It was kind of weird.
He might have been in a background of some picture that Hasbro got, and then and then he doesn't show up on the thing.
Maybe
on the show.
But can you imagine like if Black Series was a thing during Rebels? I mean, we'd have Vizago. We'd probably have, I don't know.
Yeah, because they did those really crappy 3 3/4 figures for Rebels.
Yeah, really cheap on the kids line, I guess.
Right.
5-point of articulation, which
I mean, they looked cool, but then when I finally found the Hera, it was like somebody just totally smeared a paint up, and it didn't look anything like Hera with the face. But I still bought it because it was Hera, and it was at $5 Below, so I had to pick it up. But yeah, it took them 3 or 4 years to produce a full line of Rebels Black Series.
Yeah. We could have had the Grand Inquisitor, all of those other second, I can't remember, keep them straight. Fifth brother, second sister, ninth uncle, whatever.
Right. I actually bought the second sister from that video game from whatever video game that was and put it with my
Jedi
Rebels.
Fallen Order.
Because I'm like, it's a second sister. I know it's not the right one, but it still fits in with the Rebels. So that's why I bought it, just because of that. Because I mean, it looks just like her, except because you can't pull her helmet off. So
like Admiral Rampart. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Admiral Rampart he got a Black Series figure before the show came out, and I was just like, oh, this guy's going to be a bigger villain. And he really wasn't. He was basically limited towards the second to last episode. Like, he wasn't in it that much.
Right.
But he's got a Black Series figure. So just imagine if during the Rebels era, what we could have had.
Yeah.
We could have had,
that'd
be been cool.
Yeah, I had a lot more. But dude, it took them I still think that Zeb is one of the best Black Series figures they ever released.
Yeah, agreed. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Although the Gamorrean Guard is still my favorite.
Is he? I don't think I've ever seen or had one open. So
yeah, we've talked about like his chin slacks open and stuff.
Oh yeah.
His jawline. That's what I was doing, his chin and jaw at the same time, chin. But
that right there is pretty damn impressive, because there's another one. I think there's another one that does that. I don't remember which one it was, but when just having that one more bit of articulation in the face makes a lot of difference.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I'll probably back that Rancor. Hopefully we'll get more than just the one tier. I'll probably send that Gamorrean Guard off to get encased in acrylic carbonite. But yeah, he's not going to be touched by human hands.
Yeah, dude, that we've already talked about that. We talked about that months ago, AFA getting bought, but yeah, it's just they're running forever, I guess. Like everything, it's taking forever right now for anything. Getting stuff back from AFA and CIS 6 months.
Yeah. I'm also on the hunt, the Galaxy of Adventures. You remember that short cartoon on YouTube?
Yeah. Maybe
a year or so ago. They did a line of figures for those, and they're very cartoony.
Right.
And I got most of the main characters like Rey and Finn, Darth Vader, Kylo, Mando, and a Stormtrooper, and Chewbacca. But apparently Target's going to be offering them for like $5 this holiday season.
I did see that Target was going to be doing, Target and Walmart, both are beginning having like some good $5 deals.
Target's going to have them too?
Or did you just said Target?
Walmart.
Or did you mean Walmart?
I meant Walmart.
Okay. I saw Walmart was going to, huh?
Yeah, I'm half asleep here. Walmart's going to be doing that.
Okay, because Walmart's having some. I thought it was Black Series. I didn't realize it was Galaxy of Adventures, or maybe it's both.
Galaxy of Adventures. So yeah, they're the 5-inch figures. They did have like the Sith Trooper, Boba Fett, and Jedi Luke, which I don't have. So I'm on the hunt for those this week to see if I can get out to a Walmart that have those. Because
Walmart's already putting out their Black Friday stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I was there yesterday, and I was like, "Ooh, look, underwear." Because that's normally when I bought underwear, was on Black Friday. But
yeah, I got some Grogu underwear yesterday too for my birthday. I made a joke years ago to my kids, like, I don't care what you get me, just don't get me underwear and socks.
And they totally did.
And so every year now I get underwear and socks. And so that's just a long running joke. So I got underwear and socks.
Yeah.
Grogu's.
Well, that's all right. You could have got a case of toilet paper.
Could have. I'll probably need that for the winter social.
Yeah, my work, all the girls at my work, they put a big box with my name on it on the table, and I was like, "Y'all bought me a present." Oh, and then I started thinking, I'm like, "Y'all are messing with me." And then I opened it up yesterday morning, and there's a case of toilet paper because I go to the bathroom a lot. I'm like, I'm regular. Stop,
Then
I play on my phone
or something.
Huh?
Depends.
Yeah. That would have been better. Yeah, it could have been worse. They could have bought me some Depends, but
yep.
All they did was go in the warehouse and put a case of toilet paper in a box. It's like, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk? You want to talk this Boba Fett trailer that everybody's seen, and we're like way behind the curve on?
Sure, because that just dropped quietly. Like there was no rumor that was coming,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it just hit with a loud boom.
and then there it was. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited. I watched it a few times. I haven't watched it. I'm trying to keep the anticipation down in me because I don't want to overhype it and then be disappointed.
Right.
But I mean, it looks cool. I'm pretty excited about it. It's an interesting take on the series so far because you don't know if you weren't sure what was going to happen. Was it going to be a revenge thing? Was it going to be, is he trying to take over for Jabba or what? And at least on this, it looks like he's taking over for Jabba and continuing where it left off.
Yep. If I have to be honest, and I hate to be, I'm just crabby today, so I'm trying to be positive, but I kind of was underwhelmed by the trailer, and I guess I was expecting more.
Okay.
There was a lot of great imagery from that, but the last shot of Boba Fett slamming down that axe, if you
Yes.
watch that really closely, he's pulling that axe. He's not committing with the swing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there's some weird editing going on, but it just, when I saw that and I just saw like the lack of, there's intensity on his face, but the axe, it just seemed like, okay, I got to slow it down now. It just kind of threw me off. But
yeah, I just rewatched it. I have the video queued up, and I went back to that point, and I could see what you're saying with that, but it also looked like it was the same thing that he did in the when we first saw him. It reminded me a lot when we first saw him in
yes.
the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of that as well. It just didn't seem to have that intensity from that episode.
Right. And then I'm curious go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I'm curious if we're only seeing like clips from like the first 2 or 3 episodes, or is it all just one episode that they're showing us, or what?
Yeah. I would imagine it's the first episode. First 2. But I mean, we got a hammerhead,
which I thought was Doc, but that's not Doc Ondor.
No, Doc is a master of antiquities, so I don't think he'd be in a position of power. He's supposed to have been doing that, dealing with antiques for years.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy to see that hammerhead. So when you see him, though, there's a voiceover, which sounds a lot like the Mandalorian himself. But if you listen, you can kind of hear the hammerhead speaking, which is like a. I'm trying to do that impersonation, but so you can kind of see it. So I don't know if it's like some sort of translator or if it's the Mandalorian speaking.
But if you look at, I paused that shot, and in some of the Clone Wars, and I think even in Rebels, a lot of the hammerheads have like a translator device on them, and it looks like this guy's got something similar to that. So it could be one where he's speaking and it's translating, so you hear them both at the same time.
Okay. I can get on board with that.
Which is what I would say. But yeah, I totally thought that was Doc, because I'm like, it would be awesome for them to tie this into Batuu, which is what everybody wants, because, you know, you can go to Batuu and be like, I was here.
Yeah. The Twi'lek, played by Jennifer Beals from Flashdance from the 80s.
It's a whole, yeah.
But I just like seeing Twi'leks because that's an original trilogy thing.
Right.
Tying that in. I like the ending. I like how they end with like we have a change of management. You're free to speak your mind, and then he's like sitting back and like, go ahead, speak your mind.
Did you notice
what was like anything?
Did you notice what was happening when he said that though?
What?
The throne's moving back. Everybody's missing that part. Everybody's missing that detail. When he says speak freely, the throne's moving back.
Is it?
Yes. I'm going to go watch it right now. But the throne, from what I remember, the throne is moving back when he says it.
Because it looks like he's just sitting back in the chair. It doesn't look like the throne's moving to me. So that would change things. And there's rumors about
Oh, and maybe
need.
the way the camera shot, but to me, I thought the throne was moving. It maybe because the camera, it could be either one. The camera's either moving back or the throne's moving back. But now that I look at it again, it's the freaking camera work.
Yeah. I don't think, although there's rumors that Rancors may appear in the show.
Dude, I'd be surprised if they won it. I mean, look, we've got, if you look at where they're talking, you've got all the lieutenants. You've got you've got Bosk, you've got, or what could be Bosk, you've got the Hammer, Trandosans, you've got Walrus Man, you've got Wigways. It's a whole table full of everybody we saw on the sail barge.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the camera's panning back in that last shot because I'm looking at some of the items in the background. Unless the whole,
I think Mandy's gonna go run her errand.
Oh, errand.
Bye.
Well, Second Chance doesn't open for another hour.
Maybe she called them. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, they're holding back on that trailer. There's a lot that we haven't seen. And it looked like my takeaway from the action of that trailer is that Boba Fett gets into a street skirmish.
Mm-hmm.
And there's got to be more action than just a street skirmish.
Oh, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Which is why they're holding back.
Yeah. Oh, and I totally missed it. Somebody was like, there was a droid. I'm just kind of picking it apart again. And I didn't want to pick it apart, but there's like a pit droid looking thing, giving him his helmet. His helmet looks a little bit not beat up, but beat up, because you could tell he's seen some action, because that helmet was looking really good in Mandalorian, and now it's kind of got a little bit of scrapes and stuff on it. And people were also saying that you could see like a healing chamber in the background of one of these things. So they assume he's been healing himself because his face doesn't look as beat up.
Back to the tank.
It's not really a back to tank, but it's like a almost like the
bubble suit that Finn has in The Last Jedi.
Probably back to suit or something. They said you could see it in the background, and I haven't seen it enough. I've missed that part, but apparently he does. I mean, you could tell he looks younger. You can tell that he's been doing something. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Right when he puts his helmet on, it's in the background. It's like the first 15, like at minute 50, it's 15 seconds in. You could see it in the background.
Yeah.
And you could see that he's been doing something because he doesn't look as beat up. So good for him. Anyway.
Should be a good show. I mean, I'm really excited for it. I'm just underwhelmed by the trailer. Maybe my expectations are too high for the show too.
Right. Well, that's why I'm trying to stay out of it, because I don't want to be, oh my God, it's Boba Fett again. And then it womp womp.
I don't think it's going to be like that at all.
I don't think it will
can't
either.
be.
It better not be.
Not with the pedigree that they've got involved in it.
Because is it all Roger Rodriguez? Is he the only director of this?
No, it's Filoni, Favreau, and Robert Rodriguez. They're all working this one together.
Okay. Have you seen the meme of somebody of Boba Fett coming out of the Sarlacc pit or whatever, and it's like, how'd you get out? And then it's Filoni, Dave Favreau, and
wait, Filoni, Favreau, and Robert Rodriguez.
It was Filoni and Favreau driving the Slave One, of pulling him out of the Sarlacc pit.
Oh, we need you. You got to get in there, kid. The Mando needs you.
Yeah.
This is a way.
Right. And then I heard somebody bitching that they're like, every time I see Boba Fett, all I see is Django. And it's like, dude, you gotta stop, because if Boba Fett aged properly, he'd look like Django Fett. That's
a weird complaint there. I mean,
right. It's like, that's what Boba Fett's gonna look like, guys. He was a copy of Django. Look at all the clones. He's a freaking clone.
That's weird.
And then I also heard an interesting theory about the sand trooper, not the sand trooper, the sand person shot. Is somebody thinks that could be when he's coming out of the Sarlacc pit.
Oh. Yeah, because they did say they were going to show how he gets out of the Sarlacc. And would he disguise himself as a Tusken to come back into camp or something like that? Or did they give him robes? And I don't know. That's an interesting thought.
Because apparently there's a deleted scene in Return that about the same time everything's happening when they're leaving Tatooine, there's a sandstorm that's getting ready to happen. So they think because that's sand people in a sandstorm that it links the two together.
Yeah, the scene plays out exactly as it does what we have at the movie, where the X-wing and the Millennium Falcon kind of go their separate ways, and Luke is talking to the Millennium Falcon in his X-wing, and they kind of say the exact same thing. It's just in the middle of a sandstorm on Tatooine.
Yeah,
and that'd be awesome if they fold that into canon and made it official.
Right.
There's the Vintage Collection does have figures from that scene. If you ever want to hunt them down, there's one with Luke making his lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. That was a deleted scene. And there's a Lando and a Leia kind of dressed up, protecting themselves from the sandstorm.
Yeah, I've seen those. Cool.
Yeah, just tying everything back to figures.
Right.
But so we'll see.
So we talked a little bit about visions. I talked it with Jordan and I've talked it with you. And I just want to get this out the way because it's like you've got a checklist as a podcast of crap you got to talk about in the Star Wars universe. And we never got your take on visions. So if you want to give us that real quick and then we can go into all that research you did. Because I know your thought and you're like,
well, I haven't done any research yet, so we'll have to save that for next week.
Oh, I thought you were okay. Well, never mind. Let's talk about.
I was 3D printing, so we're gonna do that next week, and
all right, or the week after, or whatever. Or year in.
I mean, like 3D printing there's so many settings, and without the knowledge, you're just like trying to hit it, target a bullseye in the dark, and hoping that with each shot you take, you get a bullseye. So, trying to figure that out. Finally got a tutorial. Anyways, I got it to work. But visions. Let me. The first I've only seen 4 of them. Anime is just not my thing, and we've talked about it before. It's just too extreme, and it's just not my that sort of thing's not my jam, baby. But that first one was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That samurai Kurosawa kind of look and feel.
Right.
Some of the designs were a little bit off, like the hair on the one lady. It's just like, what? Okay, that's extreme. But I did like that a lot, and I thought that was just magnificent. But then you get to like the Tatooine Rhapsody, where the kid's playing the one final band thing, one final song before the Hutt gets killed by Jabba. I just felt no connection to any of the characters.
And
I don't understand what the relationship between the two Hutts were. And then I just felt like I don't care if that Hutt gets killed. I don't know what's going on. So that one didn't work. And then you get to the twins. And this is the reason why I don't like anime. Nothing made sense to me. They're like, what's better than one Star Destroyer? 2 Star Destroyers connected together with a giant engine.
Yes.
And I guess thematically, they're twin Star Destroyers and they're twins and stuff. But then you've got lightsabers that kind of extend off. And people have said this before, like the lightsaber's like going 25 miles into space. Like, what is going on? Why are they standing out in space without any problem breathing and talking? And I just
suspend reality for 5 minutes.
I try, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
it's just too extreme. So I got out. And there was one after that I watched. I can't remember what that was.
You at least need to watch, I think, The Ninth Jedi. I think that one's the one between the Ninth Jedi and Ronin. Those are the 2 that have legs.
Yeah.
So at least go back and watch The Ninth Jedi.
All right, I'll go back and watch that. But yeah, that's my take, my hot take, not my thing.
25-foot lightsabers. Come on, man.
Oh, come on. What? It just seems like now I need a lightsaber. It's just huge. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
That would make a
But
good.
that's my take on Visions.
As he smiles into the camera, going, "Yeah, Visions
Yeah.
rocks! Yay, Visions!"
It's a vision of a Star Wars I don't want to see.
Right. Well, like I said before, I think it's, and Chance actually is the one that said it, is instead of making it a Star Wars anime, they made it an anime with Star Wars in it, and they just didn't. Some of them are awesome, some of them missed the mark, and I guess we'll see when they decide to make more of them.
Are they? They submitted one for Academy Award.
Did they really? Do you know which one?
I don't know if it was Ronin or the Ninth Jedi.
It would have to be one of those.
Well, if
Just
it's
both.
Then I'm just maybe it's Tatooine Rhapsody.
Oh, either that or 2B1. I think what they did was they're trying to bring other people into the Star Wars universe, and it was kind of for us, but it's for the kids who like anime, and it just us old guys are like, what are we watching? Whereas people who are into anime would get it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is awesome.
Right.
I'm like, this is not awesome.
Yeah, because they even made some manga or manga if you're really into it. It's like football and football.
I'm not gonna carega.
Yeah, they made some manga books, and you go to start looking, and the manga's backwards. So you read it backwards, and it just, I can't figure this crap out.
It blows your mind.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the book is in reverse.
Yeah.
Put it in forward. You got to read it upside down in order to read it right.
Right. And then while we're on rumors, and we got, kind of nowhere to go, but did you hear the rumor that they're wanting to take the original Star Wars script and turn it into a movie? So like the Star Killer, and where you're going to see Chewie that looks more like Zeb, and like the really hardcore McQuarrie concept art, and turn it into a movie.
I haven't heard that rumor, and I don't believe that rumor.
Okay.
They've done that with a comic book.
Yeah.
They've been there, done that.
Yeah. Did you read the comic book?
I did. It was different.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it's the same, but it's different.
Right.
The terminology was kind of there. There's a mace instead of. It's been a couple years since I've read it, but there is a mace in there, so it's like that got recycled for Ewoks and the Phantom Menace, obviously Mace Windu, and there's the Bendu, Jedi Bendu, if I remember right. That was a thing, and the Bendu gets used in Rebels.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Like the Bendu was that giant moose thing that was like
but I don't
between.
Yeah, but I don't remember it in the comic book, but I gave away those comics, so I can't go back and look.
Yeah, it was like, that's what they call themselves, like Jedi Masters, but they're like Jedi Bendus.
Uh-huh.
Something like that. I'll have to go back and read it. Did you ever read that IG-88?
No, I need
Tales
to.
from Bounty Hunters?
Because now David read it, and now you read it, so I need to go dig it out. I know I've got it. I just need to go get it. But I've got a stack of crap on my nightstand that I need to read. I'm still trying to make my way through Heir of the Empire. I mean, not Heir of the Empire. The whatever that's called. The one where they went back and started it all over again.
Yeah.
That second book of that one, because the third one's getting ready to come out, and I really enjoy those books. It's just, it gets hard to read some nights because I'm one of those people where I need 100% silence or like 99% silence to read, or I can't concentrate. And having to be a reader like that really sucks because, my wife's watching stuff in the background and, or she's even in the living room. Even if she's in the living room and I hear it, it bothers me. So it makes, I'm a real asshole when I read, and it makes it hard to read sometimes. And then the new Thrawn books are getting ready to come out. And it's supposed to be like something like 2 inches thick is what people are saying, which is.
Is this his last Thrawn book then?
I don't know. And I'm still not through with the second one of that trilogy because it's a lot to read, and it's a really tough read. It's a good book, but it's a tough read because it's a lot going on.
I want to talk Andor spoiler.
Okay.
And this one might be legitimate. So if you don't want to know about Andor or be spoiled by anything, we're not going to spoil any plot points. It's just a certain someone might be making an appearance. So this is the way.
This is the way.
All right. Are you still there? Because I'm going to talk about it.
I'm here. Talk it.
Yeah, in Andor, supposedly Andy Serkis is in it, which is interesting.
What would he do?
I don't know. I got flashbacks of Terminator 3 when they show the scientist who was developing the T-100s. Was it T-100s? And it was Arnold, but he had like a cowboy accent. Hi, y'all. Do you remember that in Terminator 3?
I didn't see Terminator 3.
Yeah, they showed the scientists who developed the technology to make the Terminators, and it looked like Arnold, but he had like a Texas accent and not his Austrian accent. So that was the gag there. But like, I could see Andy Serkis coming back being like a scientist for the Empire, experimenting with clones and using his own DNA. Or he's somebody with the Force that the Empire captures and experiments with, and that's the starting point, that ground zero for Snoke.
Interesting. Now, I didn't think they based. I mean, I know he played Snoke, but was he based on Andy Serkis? Because I guess I'd have to look and see what Andy Serkis looks like versus Snoke.
No, not really, but with every performance capture, there's some element of that person. Like there's some Sean Connery in Dragonheart.
Okay.
Just some of the mannerisms. So there is something there that they can start from to build a character like ILM. They pull in some of those performance ticks or the way he moves and stuff like that. But yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, that's interesting that they're going to bring Andy Serkis back and that maybe Cassian learned something. I don't know.
I have a feeling this is going to be like Marvel, where you have to watch everything to get what's going on. Or maybe not get what's going on, but you'll appreciate things more the more you watch.
Yeah, I miss the movies. I'll be honest.
The Star Wars movies?
I really wish that Boba Fett was a movie and Obi-Wan was a movie. Like, I miss the experience of seeing these things on the big screen. And maybe Star Wars movies are supposed to come out once every 3 years. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. Maybe once every 2 years and not every year.
Yeah, we got burnt out real bad. But I think what they should have done, I kind of agree with you, but I kind of don't, because I'd like the fact that we're going to get 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever of Boba Fett versus a 2-hour movie. But maybe I'm being facetious.
No, that makes sense. And there was again rumors that there was going to be some sort of Obi-Wan trilogy. But then if you have 6 episodes, that's 1 hour each. You got 2 episodes as a movie length. So maybe that's where that came from. But as long as it's good storytelling, I guess it's fine. I just miss going on to the theater and seeing things on the big screen and clapping with people and having that communal experience.
All right. Well, Ghostbusters is coming out in November. Yeah, well, it is November. Thanksgiving in like 19 days or something. The 19th.
Something like that.
It's coming out. So maybe you could go see Ghostbusters.
Maybe. I still have to see James Bond.
That, and I heard Dune was pretty insane on a big screen.
Yep. I watched Dune on the small screen. Didn't see it in the big screen.
Which it did for Dune.
But now I'm reading Dune. Oh, you're frozen. You're frozen.
I shouldn't be. Am I back?
You're back.
All right.
You're back live on the air.
Crap. What was I thinking? Dune. Every time I watch Dune, I kept thinking this is Star Wars, or it's got a Star Wars feel to it.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I can see how that was influenced. Star Wars was influenced by Dune.
Yeah.
Major influences there.
There's actually like an old World War II movie that if you line it up with the original with New Hope, it's the same plot line and it's almost shot for shot, except it's airplanes instead of starships.
Really?
Yeah.
I know he cut World War II footage to kind of get the animatics of that last battle scene in the Death Star.
Okay. Yeah, I remember
New Hope.
that.
Yeah. But I didn't know there was a movie that he kind of plagiarized, which I mean, when you look at the pod racing scene, that's basically the plot, the play-by-play of how it goes down in Ben-Hur.
Is it really?
Yeah. So, I mean, they even look like chariots with 2 jet engines and being pulling something. So instead of horses, you got jet engines. Instead of a chariot, you got the pod racing cars.
Interesting. Maybe I need to go watch Ben-Hur, and I need to find that. I'm sure if you search it, you can find that footage. I've seen it on Facebook, but I'm sure it's on YouTube if you just search.
And Ben-Hur was a remake of a silent version of Ben-Hur.
Uh-huh.
And back in the day, way back when, they had no rules in Hollywood. There was no unions, so they could do whatever they wanted. And they told all of the chariot runners, I don't know what you would call them, whoever wins the race gets $10,000. So like it was like a legit race.
Damn.
Yeah. So like people were, and $10,000 back then was a lot of money.
Right. Hell, even today, $10,000 you get a pretty insane race.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to watch the silent version because of that, because I think you really see like the panic in people trying to win the race, and there's an element of realism which you don't really get in the Charlton Heston version because it's all controlled and on a movie set.
Right.
Welcome to Ben-Hur Talk with Jason and Glenn.
Awesome.
Awesome. Next week we're gonna talk 10 Commandments, followed by Planet of the Apes.
Here's the 15 crash, 10 Commandments.
All the Charlton Heston movies.
Oh, but speaking
Soylent Green.
True
Lies.
I don't know Charlton Heston movies.
Yeah. Never mind. We're not talking that then. We're moving on. That happened quickly.
Boom. That went nowhere fast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I think
you ready for. Oh, you want to just go?
No, finish.
I was just going to say, you ready for the fall crawl?
Yes, dude, I am. I got a couple of pieces here and there that I need to, I think next weekend I'm going to spend the weekend or spend a couple hours just touching things up. But because we had to do have the house appraised, it kind of forced us to get things in order, do a pretty major clean on it. So we're in pretty good shape. But yeah, I'm ready. How about you?
Yep, I'm ready. I'm going down to IKEA maybe tomorrow to get some more lights for my display, my Micro Machines display, because there's a couple shelves without it and it just looks odd.
Right.
So I might get the lights, and then I think I'm ready. I just need to start dusting, which is always fun.
It sucks the worst.
I'm trying to find a cheat for that.
There is.
There's
not. The best thing
you have to remove.
Yeah, you get one of those feather duster things. Yeah, sorry. You just get one of those feather duster things, and yeah, it's easier to move stuff because I've tried doing that without moving stuff, and stuff falls and breaks, and then you're upset.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to maybe do a shelf a day, so I don't have to do it all in one day. That's a pain in the neck.
Yeah, and when I was looking at my appraisal, it's like you see pictures of the collection room, and you're like, do I need to be impressed or embarrassed, or because there's tons of people that's going to look at these pictures, and you're like, crap, because or do they even know what's going on in this picture, because it's just a ton of shit.
Yeah, it's organized chaos. But yeah, no, I completely get that. I just got to start cleaning it for the winter social.
That's gonna be fun,
which apparently is the SEC championship, so I'll probably have to have a TV on somewhere with the game.
Well, hopefully, Georgia's either gonna win it or lose it in the last minute.
I don't give a shit either way.
Yeah, I'm
not from the South.
Right. No, I mean, I'm an LSU fan, but it's like the whole thing. You got to kind of half-ass pull for Georgia because you're like, you want the state to do good, but then your team's doing like crap because that's what happens in college when you get a new team every year. You'll win the
championship. You really
champion.
have to pull for Georgia, though?
No, I don't think I will.
I don't think so either.
I don't know who they're going to end up playing.
I'm all Syracuse, and like that team hasn't been good since the 50s.
It's because everybody comes down here to play football.
Yeah. They made that movie The Express with what's his name? Played Chadwick Boseman.
Okay.
They made a movie about oh my gosh, what is his name? 44. I'm so tired this morning. He's like a local hero. But anyways, they made a movie about Syracuse. They haven't done that with LSU or Georgia, so
no.
Suck it.
Oh, Narayan posted my birthday picture on the page.
Yeah, thank you. I have to post this on the page, but thank you everybody who reached out and said happy birthday. I really appreciate that. And if you didn't say happy birthday, what's wrong with you?
You're right.
Come on, man. No, I'm just joking.
I'm
joking.
I did kind of wake 100%. Up like in the middle of the night, and there was only like 2 people that wished me a birthday, and I was like, oh man. And now it's just going crazy, which is kind of cool. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Jim Swearengin like wished me happy birthday.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
He never friended me. I don't think I'm friends with him. I've tried, and maybe he just hasn't.
I'm not friends with him. He just wished me in the birthday feed.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's cool because like Doug Miller posts in our club, and I'm like, holy crap. He posts all the time in the club.
Yeah, we have a website now.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm so excited about that website. Now people have no excuse to not know what's going on.
Yeah, I put that in the about section, but there's no place in Facebook for a private group's website, which stinks. So I just had to put it in the about area. Yeah. So yeah, if you're looking for the latest information regarding events for the Georgia Alliance, just go to that about section tab and get information there.
Yeah.
If you can't find the events, we're going to have it on the website.
Yeah, because we got tired. Facebook, it's something free, but boy, we sure do love bitching about it. Because it does seem like they don't want you to do stuff. The minute you get good at something,
yeah,
they start hiding you. Same thing with the podcast, but
yeah,
it is crazy. Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No, but it's weird because I can do all the ads on Facebook and we still get the same. No matter if I do ads or if I don't do ads, we get the same number of people listening. So
don't do ads. Save the money.
Well, I don't do an ad, but share the post and stuff.
Oh, so maybe it does nothing.
Maybe.
I don't know. Next week we are going to start our wrap up of the year. We're gonna have a couple of episodes to talk about 2021, and we're going to start with modern at the beginning of the year, beginning of 2021. We kind of went through the modern vintage collection prices. We're going to compare what the prices were at the start of the year to where they are now to see where they increased. I'll go through some surprising Black Series pricing, how much things are valued right now. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more awake than I am today. I'll be able
Don't stay up till better. 11 and then wake up at 5.
Words will flow out of my mouth better than they were today. I apologize. And then we'll do some vintage talk in another episode. We've done the pricing of how much it costs, so we'll do that. And then we'll talk about pickups, and we'll have a couple other extra guests on. We got some big plans to finish out the year strong.
Yeah, finish it out with a bang, man.
Why do you say that like a stoner?
I don't
know. Man.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna finish this thing off really. What was I saying, man?
Yeah, dude. Hold on a minute.
Oh God. That was you putting whipped cream on ice cream, kids.
Totally.
All right.
All right, Jason. Enjoy the rest of your birthday weekend.
You too. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday again.
So